Hey guys, this is Movie Trailer Trash, and we just watched Charlize Theron as Lethally Blonde.
Oh. That's right, baby. It's time for Movie Trailer Trash. Enjoy. Hello, and welcome to Movie Trailer Trash. We just watched the trailer for Atomic Blonde, and it looks pretty awesome.
And I'm Bethany.
Oh, I'm Charlie Theron.
No, just
No?
Charlie.
Oh, okay.
So welcome to Movie Trailer Trash.
Hello.
And let's talk about this trailer.
What trailer?
First of all, aren't I clever?
Oh, so clever.
Lethally Blonde?
It sounds like a Mad Magazine cover.
Like Legally Blonde?
Only these movies are like 15 years apart.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a reference everyone gets.
Everyone?
Yeah. You're telling me there's someone out there in the United States of America who doesn't know about Legally Blonde, hasn't heard of it?
Yeah.
They're children.
They're babies.
They're babies. Anyway,
Beautiful babies.
Charlize Theron. She basically looks to be starring in a spy film type of thing, a James Bondian type
It's
character.
definitely a spy film.
But I think of her as a James Bondian type character because she is clearly an extremely specialized agent, and she clearly will sleep with people to get information or whatever she needs.
Mm-hmm.
And she's very heartless. It looks to be.
Yeah.
I mean, when it comes to killing people.
Well, I think that's how they teach it.
I mean, yeah. But I'm just saying.
She's MI6.
It's really
so she's
cool.
British.
Yeah, so that's probably why it felt so James Bondian.
Which, by the way,
because that's what he is.
Yeah, I didn't know that she was British in the first time I watched this trailer.
Oh, that she was supposed to be British?
I didn't know that she was doing a British accent.
I didn't either.
Which she
but
is.
The first trailer was really short and didn't look that good.
Which, I mean, yeah, she doesn't talk very much. But hold on. Yeah, it did. It looked great.
The first one?
Yeah.
No, the very first one.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, I never saw the first one.
Yeah, it was just her
I'm
fighting
lying.
in the stairwell.
I lied. I just realized I never saw the first one. You just told me about it.
Right.
So we saw this new trailer the other day in theater when we were watching Free Fire.
Uh-huh.
So shout out to Free Fire and Brie Larson. Shout.
Shout.
That was a good movie. But yeah, we saw this and I think we were both just like, whoa, let's talk about that.
Well, it was weird because I saw the trailer just like, during the workday or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I
you know
thought
how
it
trailers
looked,
are always popping up during the workday.
And I thought it looked awesome, right? So I thought it
Yeah.
looked really cool, and I wanted to see it when it came out, blah, blah, blah. But then I saw the trailer in the theater, and it was the exact same trailer, but I was just like, this looks like the greatest movie of all time.
I thought you told me that this one was different. Maybe it just felt different.
Yeah, it just felt different. It's the same exact thing that I had seen the previous time.
Well, it helps. It always helps to be on big screen and have the music real loud and stuff. The big speakers. That makes things more exciting, especially action.
Yeah, and it had that weird mashup of all those like 3 different songs that
Reach Out and Touch Faith.
It worked for
What was the first song?
movie, but it was like weird. I wouldn't like listen to it.
There was that. What was that first song?
It was like that theme song, like a theme song.
Anyway, there was one part where they have the gun. She's shooting a gun and it goes off perfectly with a song. It's like pop, 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 pop.
Gotta love that.
And it's so perfectly done.
Now-
Let's just say this: the trailer itself, if we were just rating a trailer, A+.
It's
5
very
out of
long.
5.
It's almost 3 minutes long.
You don't even feel it though,
Right, because of how awesome it is.
And you don't feel like it gave everything away.
No.
For a 3-minute trailer that doesn't give everything away, that's impressive. That's hard to do.
So this movie, just in general, is about Charlize Theron, who is a spy for MI6, and a fellow spy gets murdered, and he has a list of agents, secret agents
supposedly
that
they
are
said he
in
had a
Berlin.
ton of names, or they said he knew a bunch of information.
And so
now they're worried.
they find his body, but they don't find the list, and so now
Somebody has it.
Someone has to find it. Right?
Yeah.
So they get Charlize Theron to find it, and she has some sort of history with this guy, the agent that was murdered, and so it's personal. They send her to Berlin, and then she meets up with James McAvoy, who is her contact in Berlin, and they team up to do whatever.
And hopefully he's in it a lot, because I could see him being in the trailer a lot and then dying early or something. That
Like
would
dying early or just not being a very big
Yeah.
deal. Like he just gives her information and then leaves.
Well, because especially in spy movies, sometimes they'll show, someone who looks like it's a big name actor and you're like, cool. And then they die because it's a spy movie and people die. And you're just like, what? I thought they were going to be in it the whole time.
Well, yeah, like one of the previous James Bond movies. I don't remember which one it was. Maybe it was Skyfall, but like Javier Bardem is the bad guy and he doesn't show up until like an hour into the movie.
That's Skyfall.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, it's going to be interesting, and who knows how soon James McAvoy? Is that his name? Who knows how soon he shows up into the movie? But it looks.
He does have a great entrance, though.
Yeah, his entrance is awesome. She shoots at him, and he's like, "Whoa, I have your shoe!" And he holds out her
the
fancy
shoe,
heel.
which she used to kill 3 people. By the way, it was amazing.
Yeah. The sexy red heel that she used to kill 3 people
this
whilst
movie,
in a car.
I noticed while watching the trailer, seems to me like the accumulation of all of the cool, like, new trending action styles that are happening right now. So, like, it has, well, first of all, it's directed by this guy whose name is David Leitch, and he's only this is his first movie that he's directing, but he is listed as an uncredited director on John Wick because he did the stunts and stuff for it.
Yeah.
So he's a stunt coordinator, and he's done stuff like he's done Bourne movies, and he did 300.
I was just gonna say that it had a very Bourne Identity feel.
Yeah, and he was
like
he was
fighting.
The stunt double for Brad Pitt for a real long time.
That's awesome. That's interesting how he worked his way up to this type of a role.
Yeah,
That's
it's awesome. It's amazing.
I hope it's good because I want it to be good.
Well, and he's also set to direct Deadpool 2 as well. So it's 2 big movies.
Yeah, people
right
are
in a
trusting
row.
him with a lot with Deadpool 2.
I think he probably just blew people away with John Wick and how involved he was on it and how unique he made it look and stuff like that. But one of the reasons John Wick works so well and looks so amazing is because Keanu Reeves really like committed to it and trained for however long, like months and months and months. And so I hope that Charlize Theron and the people in this movie did the same thing as well.
Yeah.
But
she's been in good shape for a while ever since she made that desert movie.
Oh, yeah.
What is that desert movie?
The desert movie?
With the
Do you
cars?
mean Mad Max?
Mad Max.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it all takes place in the desert with cars. That's
yeah, the desert movie.
She
Mad
got
Max.
into crazy shape for that.
Yeah. But so, and then also, it's a thing where, like, with Daredevil, where he kind of gets beat up. You know, and he's like injured and stuff all the time. And he's got marks all over his face and everything. And this is like, so this is the combination of like the special training, which is finally done the right way, like in John Wick, where people don't like waste a lot of movements and all of that stuff.
Yeah. Well, and Bourne. It's very
where
much
she's
like
fighting
Bourne.
with that rope. That's awesome.
And
That's very Bourne-y.
And when she's fighting in the staircase, 2 guys, and she like stabs one of them in the neck, and just the way that she fights, every move is very efficient, and it looks like Bourne Identity because Jason Bourne, every move he uses is purposeful.
Yeah, and so you have that. You have the Daredevil thing of getting beat up and like being
totally
broken the whole time. But it's also, you also have the unrealistic, like just enough not realistic portion of it. So like she's beat up and beat to hell and stuff, but she still survives when she jumps out of that building and swings back into it. You know, she's fine.
And using a guy's body to keep her.
Right,
yeah.
exactly.
I mean, yeah, there's enough believability that you can kind of go with the unbelievable things.
Right. And then like, you know, she grabs onto the seatbelt and survives like this crazy car crashes and even knocked unconscious. But if she just died right there, you know, it wouldn't be a fun movie.
Yeah, and I think just in general, even a super highly trained woman with that many also highly trained men after her, it's just very unlikely that she would win.
Right. But I mean, I was saying this to you the other day.
Who else she has on her side, and who knows?
Like after we saw it, like Charlize Theron is a great cast for this because she's like, I think around 6 feet tall.
She's tall, I think.
And she's not like, you know, super skinny by any means.
Yeah, she's not big either. She's very fit. But you know, the thing about her
like
is
she could, you know, it's plausible to the extent that this movie has that she could beat the hell out of someone.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
James McAvoy, he looks awesome. He has this big, long, like brown coat, and his head is shaved kind of close, or his hair is shaved close to his scalp, and he's funny. He's gonna be funny.
Yeah.
I hope.
Yeah, I would say that I think that he's going to just be like, so like the level of emotion that he shows in the trailer is, you know, he gets shot at and he's like, wait, don't shoot, I have your shoe. And he's like not scared about it. Whenever
he was
anything
scared, but he was like, whoa.
Like whenever like the plan changes, You know, it doesn't faze him at all. And I think that she's just going to be like beating people up and he's just going to be like chuckling about it.
Yeah, at one point in it, he says, I think I'm in love with you. But like in the way you say that to somebody when they do something awesome, not
Right.
because you actually are in love with them. You're just like, you are amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I think that those two together are going to be great. I've
been really impressed with him as of late. He's just been wonderful.
Well, yeah, because I mean, we've talked about this before about how he's an awesome actor that has just been like stuck in Fox's X-Men universe for years. And
even though those movies aren't incredible, everything he does in them is good. He's a good actor in those movies.
Yeah.
He brings, like, if those movies didn't have him in it, I don't know if they'd be good at all.
It's like he
brings a new level of, quality to those movies.
And he's in Wanted. And those were the two things
I've never seen that one, but yeah.
He were in.
And now he was in Split.
Uh-huh.
And he was great in that.
And this, like Wanted, this Atomic Blonde movie is also based on a graphic novel.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
It's based on The Coldest City by Anthony Johnston.
The more I think about it, the more I keep comparing it in my mind to all the Bourne movies because, well, first of all, wasn't that guy who's talking to her, John Goodman? Wasn't he in one of the Bourne movies? No. But large guys like him always played like the people on your side who are actually not really on your side.
Yeah, maybe not. And like there seems to be some element of that in this also.
And that's what I was feeling. He was like, people who are around you keep dying, and he's acting all like, he's the good guy here trying to figure out what's going on. But you're like, maybe you're the bad guy.
Yeah.
Even in the trailer, you're like, maybe you're not to be trusted. And the whole point is she can't trust anybody, which is exactly like Bourne because he doesn't remember anything. So he's like, I don't really know if I can trust you or not. People who he maybe has worked with for years, he doesn't trust.
Maybe it's more like the Green Zone.
What? That's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous thing to say.
The Green Zone.
That's a decent movie, but it has nothing to do with this.
Yeah, it is. Don't trust anyone.
No. Bourne has way more to do with that.
Well, yeah, but
don't trust anyone.
There's no
be a highly skilled
concept
agent.
of amnesia in this one, though.
No, but there's the idea of confusion and not knowing what's happening. Yeah. How did this happen? Why are people dying around me? Who has the information? Who
and
can
it's
be
personal.
Trusted? Yeah.
For some reason we don't know about.
Yeah, so I think that I think it's going to be good. And I honestly think if it is what I hope it is, that it'll be one of the first good spy movies since the third Bourne movie.
Yeah. I mean, I think it'll be probably it looks to be one of the better action movies with a female lead. Just
ever.
Period.
Yeah, that's like because it looks like it has a good story.
It looks like a good story.
Of the action
like
movies
it's really
with female leads just it might be fun action, but it's not great.
It's really well made, and it's got this guy who is doing the stunts and directing, who like knows what he's doing and doesn't do the 100-pound girl crotch to the face.
Yeah, I didn't see her do that once.
Break your neck, maybe.
It's
I don't know.
It's called the Black. Black Widow. It's called the Black Widow move.
Right.
It's Scarlett Johansson, crotch to the face, flip you around.
And there's an explanation for that. It's just like, well, these small people who aren't as strong as the people they're fighting have to, do that, I guess.
No, but the thing is, it's way more effective to stab someone with a knife in the throat.
Well, yes.
Or a pin in the throat, or a pin in the eye.
Yeah.
Like, that's going to be quicker and get the job done faster.
But there's so much of Charlize Theron just punching dudes in the face in this trailer.
And hitting
it's
them
awesome.
with weapons, like with a rope, with her heel.
Just
I really think it was like a pin to the throat or something with that
I
one
think
guy.
that was a knife. I think
Maybe
he was
a
holding a knife and she shoved it into his throat.
But yeah, and that kind of the smarts behind it too, not just the girl doing the gymnastic-y type thing. It's going to be really interesting. I hope it's really good. And of course, the James Bond movies. The first one, I'm talking about the new ones with Daniel Craig, because those are the only ones I've ever seen. Sorry, folks.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I just never had the desire to watch James Bond until sexy Daniel Craig came on screen. And that's about when I was, 13, 14. And I was like, okay, I could get into this.
They're mostly fine. I mean, there's some really good ones, but most of them are whatever.
My dad, I think, always liked them. It's fine. I like the idea of James Bond.
It's more grow up on them instead of their really quality movies. You know what I mean?
And I don't know exactly how the originals were. Maybe you could tell me. But with the Daniel Craig,
there's a lot of Sean really Connery slapping women.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying with Daniel Craig, he's a really good fighter in those. Like has some cool fight scenes, but it's mostly in all of them, it's about other stuff. It's about the card game. It's about, the chase scenes with the driving, so a lot of chasing.
There looks to be some really cool driving in this also.
Really?
Yeah, like
I didn't really
because
notice it.
James
Just all happened so
McAvoy had that
fast.
really cool old Porsche
Yeah.
and so, that he was driving around.
But anyway, so I think this is a lot more of my style of spy movie, which is not James Bond, which is Jason Bourne.
Yeah.
Jason Bourne is like what I grew up on as like the most badass spy in the world.
I think that I'm
And
going to make a
I
bold
think this
statement.
is going to be way more that than it will be James Bond.
I think that all 3 Bourne movies are better than any James Bond movie.
I could high five you right now.
Let's do it. We did it.
I absolutely agree. And I mean, this isn't fair for all of you super big James Bond
Right.
fans.
Obviously.
We're not being fair because I literally have only seen 3 other James Bond movies.
Right. Obviously, they're better than the Daniel Craig ones.
Comparing
whatever.
the 3 Daniel Craig to the 3, Jason Bournes. Yeah. I mean, and I like the first Daniel Craig one. The second one was a little disappointing. The third one was good. But yeah, I mean, none of them, Jason Bourne, those 3 movies are the story's so tightly woven together. I mean, everything about it is great. They got these amazing actors. It's just wonderful.
Well, and the reason that and now we're just talking about James Bond, but like really quick.
Let's just do it.
Really quick. The reason that these Daniel Craig ones, people didn't like them as much is because they were trying to make them into legitimate movies instead of goofy James Bond movies like
Yeah.
Pierce Brosnan and Roger Moore.
And I still think they're cool.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. They're cool. But
They're fun.
I can't sit down and watch it all the time. They're long and they're slow. They're slower than you would like them to be.
The Daniel Craig ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are. Especially
Well, yeah, and they're all like 3 hours long.
the second and third one. Yeah, the first one at least caught my attention the whole time.
Yeah.
But anyway,
But anywho,
off of that tangent,
back
on
onto
to
Atomic Blonde, which
Atomic
is
Blonde.
the, spy movie 2.0. Jason Bourne, Atomic Blonde. Are there other ones that I'm not thinking of?
Oh, of that style? I mean, no, because the thing that's difficult is like you could say John Wick is kind of a spy. I mean, he is. He's involved with spies. There's a spy hotel, right?
Yeah,
but
he's a
more of
hitman.
an action star. Yeah, he's a hitman. It's just different. And this is that kind of European. Even though Jason
gotta
Bourne
see
works
John
with
Wick
America,
too, by
he's
the
still
way.
in Europe the whole time. Yeah, I know. And we also have to see Jason Bourne because I
You know
know
what's
it got bad
interesting?
reviews, but I still want to see it
Is that
just for old times'
it
sake.
takes place in Berlin, and when I was looking through the thing,
Oh, no wonder it reminded me of Jason Bourne. That happens in Berlin too.
it looks like
The Berlin Embassy, the American Embassy at the Berlin. Okay.
that they use a lot of German actors,
Yeah.
and so that's good.
Yeah, I'm excited, guys. So do you want to talk about where, when, and how we are going to see this movie?
Yes. Where? When? How? Are you gonna see this movie? Okay. Where, when, and how you're gonna see this movie? I already know right off the bat, and I'm going to see it in a theater,
Okay.
preferably Alamo Drafthouse,
Of course.
or a theater that is not, giant.
Okay.
Just any sort of medium-sized theater will work for me. Preferably one that, has really good sound, because we've been to a few stinkers recently.
Yeah. And if you are out there and you own a cinema of any kind, make the sound loud. That's why we're there. Like, I shouldn't be straining my ears to hear the explosions.
Yeah, and when it's the worst, I think, is when it's a comedy, because then
Yeah.
you're laughing over the movie and you can't hear it.
And you feel awkward because you feel like you're ruining it for other people.
Right,
because you're
exactly.
Laughing over the movie. Yeah.
But I think that the sound will be really good in this, especially from what we saw in the trailer with all of the punching in the face and everything.
It was very, and that's another thing about it that I thought was interesting is all of the sound effects were very like cheesy over the top sound effects.
Yeah.
Like pop, 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 pop with the gun. And
Yeah.
then like it sounded like old school sound effects.
And that's
rather than
another one of those
realistic.
things where it's like a perfect blend of realism and, fun.
Yeah.
Fun action.
So, okay. I agree that I want to see it in theater.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to see it probably in Alamo. And, they're not a sponsor yet, but we like them.
And another reason to see this in theater is because, sound-wise, is because you're going to have these really loud, like car crashing, gunshot firing moments,
Yeah.
and then everything everybody says is going to be super quiet.
Yeah, because it's a spy movie. Man.
And if you're watching it at home, you're going to either be constantly turning the volume up and down or just blowing your ears out when the loud part comes.
Yeah. Unless you just have some great system. But yeah, we're always doing that.
Well, yeah, because we're in an apartment.
We're like, oh my God, the explosions are so loud, and then they're whispering and I can't hear them. But yeah, so I think Alamo would be a great place to watch this. But honestly, for those of you who don't have the privilege of living within walking distance to Alamo Drafthouse,
usually it's like some sort of medium-sized theater.
But you can go to an AMC. Shut your mouth. I like AMC.
I do too.
I enjoy it. So why'd you yell don't?
Don't!
I think that you can go to an AMC, a Regal, whatever. I don't know what else there is out there. Goodrich.
B&B.
Forum.
No, that's the name of the building in Columbia, Missouri.
Well, if you're in Columbia, Missouri, shout out Forum 8. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Anyway,
they're a Goodrich theater.
There you go. So point being, the B&B is the one we've had issues with though.
Sound-wise, yeah.
So I'm going to give them a call.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm going to give them a call. I'll tweet at them.
Do you want to write them a strongly worded letter?
They would probably like the worded letter because they're a family-owned business. Started with an old guy.
Hey, old guy, here's a letter.
They probably appreciate that. Anyway, so we're both in agreement then. We want to see it most likely in Alamo Drafthouse. And you know what? I will say this too, which we don't often throw into this segment, but I would say I would like to bring some friends.
Yeah?
Yeah, I would like to have...
See, I was just going to say I'd like to see it alone.
People. I would like to have 2 to 4 other people with us. And I think you know of the 2 to 4 people I'm thinking of.
I think... No, I think that this would be a good one. So I've seen...
Oh, obviously it would be fun to see alone, too. There's something special about seeing a movie just with your husband.
No, that's not what I was saying.
You don't have to be annoyed or worried about what other people think.
I was saying by yourself.
Oh.
There's a few movies that I've seen alone, right? On my own. So one of them was Nightcrawler. I saw Nightcrawler by myself. You
loved it.
And it was like the perfect movie for that. You don't want to see a comedy by yourself because then you're just no. You just because you had a good experience one time. You want to see because you want to laugh about it and quote lines with each other afterwards, and that's fun. An action movie by yourself, I mean, it's fine, but whatever.
But you think this one will be good by
definitely
yourself?
don't see a scary movie by yourself.
But you think why do you think this one would be good by yourself?
Because it is kind of like a dark-ish story that you can follow, that unfolds, that you can just be inside your own brain the whole time thinking about it. Then also enjoying the action on your own is fun too. So you know how you kind of made fun of me when we saw Winter Soldier and there was that first boat scene and I was like audibly excited about everything that was happening? Do you remember that?
I mean, I know that you were audibly excited. I don't know if I made fun of you. I'm a very nice person. It doesn't sound like me.
Yeah, it was. And I was like, because like he runs up and he kicks that guy in the chest and he literally flies like 20 feet off of the boat. And I was like, oh, and you were making fun of me for it. And so
afterwards?
Yes.
Okay, well, that's fine.
Afterwards,
it's all free.
And so you could be not self-conscious about enjoying the violence of this movie because it is fun no matter what your parents say. Teenagers.
Okay, don't be weird. Now parents are going to be like, stop listening to that show.
It is fun. It's like that Office quote where he's like, am I going to tell my 2-year-old daughter that objectively violent video games are more fun? No. It's true.
That's ridiculous.
But it doesn't help
anybody.
That's
not true. But also, let's call it action. Action is fun.
Action is fun.
But okay, I disagree with you. I think this is one where you want to see it with a couple friends so that afterwards when you're all walking back to the apartment, you can talk about it.
What if you don't live in an apartment?
Look at that badass part. Look at that part. Look at that part, you know?
What if you don't live in an apartment?
Well, then how do you walk to Alamo Drafthouse? I'm talking about a very specific group of people.
Just us is what you're talking.
But for all of you out there, I'd say go to a theater. That's my main recommendation. Yeah.
All right, let's move on to some Rotten Tomatoes guesses. Rotten Tomatoes percentages.
Okay.
Rotten Tomatoes.
I will start it off.
Oh, will you?
Yeah. I'm going to hope big on this one. So sometimes you just go with what you actually think. This one, it's hard because it looks so good, and I hate to get my hopes up, but I'm going to hope big and give it an 89%.
Whoa.
Yeah.
89%.
Hoping big. Because if it is anything like the first Jason Bourne movie, then it will be deserving of 89%. And it looks a lot like that. It looks like Jason Bourne as a girl. And
well, a lot of people said that it looks
doesn't wanna
like
see that?
John Wick as a girl.
there you go. And you know what? John Wick is good, but it is no Jason Bourne.
I think
in
this looks a
fairness.
lot better than John Wick.
It looks a lot better.
I
It
mean,
looks a lot better. It looks more Jason Bourne. Jason Bourne's a lot better than John Wick.
Because John Wick is awesome, right? It's super fun, and it's like really.
The story's interesting.
I mean,
even though
kind
it's
of.
simple. Well, it is because the way they play it out.
But I see John Wick as here's a reason for this guy to go kill a bunch of people,
Absolutely.
whereas this is a story unraveling
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
with with similar visuals and action and stuff like that. So
Totally.
I'm going to say that this one. It's weird because John Wick got such amazing ratings.
Yeah, I don't remember what they were.
It was like almost. I think that they're almost at 90.
So maybe I'm right on.
So I'm gonna say because of built-in sexism.
Oh, that's fair.
that this one will get an 83.
That's fair.
So I'm gonna say 83%.
I
What
would
did you say
hope-
again?
89. Okay. I would hope that the critics are better than that, but I would also not, I know that people are people, whatever their job. So if they're a critic,
And here's
doesn't mean they're not sexist a little.
Here's
or
what
even subconsciously.
Here's what I really hope for this one is that it's going to be that good, right? It's going to be really awesome and whatever, and then they're going to be tempted to make a sequel of it.
Yeah, you
And
don't
they
want
shouldn't.
them to.
Because I mean, I have
It's
a
just a
feeling
difficult thing to do.
that after the end of this one, with its like good, really good balance of realism and non-realism, that there should be a moment where she's just like, all right, now I'm done. Because that was the worst.
Okay, so let's just do audience scores, and I'm going to take another big leap of faith here. I'm going to say something crazy. 93.
Nice.
I'm just going all the way, hoping that this is one of those Jason Bourne type movies where everyone leaves the theater going, oh my God, everyone has to see this movie.
See, I think you have to factor in the sexism even more with the audience.
Probably.
And so I'm going to say 78.
But even sexist people still like to see hot women fight.
But here's the thing.
But she's like you said, it's not the sexy, over-sexualized fighting, but still.
And she's going to look beat up and stuff the whole time. She's not, I mean, there's going to be the whole thing where she, bangs the girl, the French agent.
Yeah, which, by the way, we didn't mention that when we were talking about it in general. I don't think that a lot of times when I see that type of thing, like I remember when I heard about Black Swan and the weird lesbian scene, and it was weird because people were uncomfortable with it, not because it was lesbian, but because it was a weird, like, kind of I don't know. I always heard that it was like it almost felt like somebody was threatening one or the other. I don't know.
Isn't that whole movie supposed to be super creepy?
Yes, so it was creepy and weird.
Yeah.
But I always felt like they just did that so that they could say, "Hey, we got Natalie Portman and Mila Kunis to have a scene together." That's like I feel, and I'll have to see it to make sure, and then I'll get back with you guys. But I feel like that's the only reason they did that, was so that they could tell people that was in the movie, and people would go see it. With this one, it felt more like James Bond, where it's like, hey, if you got to sleep with someone to get the info you need, sleep with them.
Yeah, I bet she was just like, oh,
you can
score. This girl's into me.
When the girl
Nice.
starts hitting on her, she's like, oh, I can do this.
Yeah.
And I love that she's like totally, it's so easy for her. Just like it's so easy for James Bond to just know that he's leading somebody on and it doesn't matter because he needs to get what he needs to get.
Right.
So I thought that was interesting. Sexism, though, yeah, who knows? I'm going to hope
because you're going to get, so many people
like action, though, man.
Where they're just going to be like, so unbelievable. A woman could never, do that. And it's like,
that's
well,
true.
Maybe.
Well,
But
because, I mean, think about it.
Who cares?
Do you remember what score the Ghostbusters movie got with the women?
No.
I think it was in the 60s. I can't
Maybe.
remember.
But the
like
critic
I thought
score
it was
was in
at
the 70s.
least I thought it was at least 70-some% worthy, and I feel like it definitely got backlash just because they were girls.
Maybe.
Like obviously, well, I mean, we know it did because people talked about it. Like,
well, yeah,
when
the
it first
trailer
came out.
with the craziness with the trailer when it came out.
Yeah,
on YouTube.
just everybody's just like, this is the worst thing that's ever been. It's had the most dislikes of anything on YouTube. It's like, are you kidding me? Have you seen some of the stuff that's on YouTube? Like, it was outrageous. I think it was of any trailer, but still,
yeah,
it was outrageous. And so obviously we saw the sexism play out, but it was like a good movie. I think that part of it was sexism and a lot of it was just fandom. People already were fans of the original, and it's really hard to remake somebody's favorite movie.
We'll get into a whole different thing about that at some point.
About sexism?
No, about Ghostbusters.
Oh, We're going to talk about that sometime?
Yeah, maybe.
Probably, maybe.
I mean, we don't have time for it now is what I'm trying to say.
Well, moving on then. Yeah, I said 93 audience. You said
78.
78. So we have high hopes, and let's see if it can make our wildest dreams come true.
Yeah, high in the sky. Apple pie hopes.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay, so let's do a couple plugs.
Yeah.
First of all, we are now on Facebook. Check us out. Movie Trailer Trash Podcast. So just type that in. Check us out. Like us there. You can also give us a rating, whatever you feel. You can review us and tell people why you listen to us if you are so inclined. We would love that, and it would help us out a lot. Also, go to our website, mttpodcast.com. You can get our blogs there. You can look at our reviews and like whether we were right on Rotten Tomatoes scores.
Yeah.
We have a Should You See It tab. Just before you go see a movie, check it out. See what we said.
Huh.
You know, if you don't always have time to listen to every episode. Also, though, every episode is on there. So there you go. So please check us out. Subscribe to us on iTunes or whatever podcast app you use.
Rate and review on iTunes.
And rate and review on iTunes as well as Facebook if you have the chance. And we really appreciate you guys. So.
And as always, go subscribe to Entertainment Buffet's YouTube channel.
Yes.
We are there.
We're
also.
there. We live there.
And follow them at Entertain Buffet.
Yeah. So we will see you guys next time.
See you later, everybody.